Welcome to today's press conference for Ole Miss Rebels head coach Yolett McPhee-McCuin. Ole Miss's sports information director is Madeline Marshall. We'll now take questions for Coach McPhee-McCuin. As a reminder, please state your name and affiliation at the beginning of each question. If you're on the Zoom call and have a question, use the raise hand function. I'll call on you if we have time.
Hey, Coach. Alex Simon from Bay Area News Group. Obviously, you talked about South Carolina a lot in what you guys believe, but as you watch Stanford in the film coming in, is there similarities, you think, kind of with how the approach is as you've now dissected that film?
Yeah, I don't think they are. I mean, they're two different teams, two different styles, and that's what makes it fun. You know, our approach for Stanford is going to be tailor-made for Stanford, whereas South Carolina, our approach was tailor-made for them. So at the end of the day, we'll stick to our defensive system and hope that works out for us.
Marissa and Jemmy, San Francisco Chronicle. With a team like Stanford, with how much depth they have coming off the bench, how much size they have coming off the bench, how do you prepare for a team that just continues to bring in weapons? And does playing and coaching in the SEC, does that help prepare you for other Power 5 matchups outside the SEC?
Yeah, I mean, last night our bench scored 33 points, so I think we have some firepower coming off the bench as well. One of the things that we're going to focus on is staying true to who we are. I do believe that us playing in the Southeastern Conference has prepared us for an opportunity like the one that's in front of us. There are a lot of teams in the Southeastern Conference that have depth, and we've had to manage it. And hopefully I put together a good enough game plan to give us a chance.
Two questions here for you. Obviously, it's just on an emotional level, it's your first NCAA tournament win as a head coach. Did you hear from anybody like that felt most meaningful kind of in congratulating you in the last amount of time? I'm sure there was a lot that people you heard from. But.
Well, my family's here, so they were able to celebrate with me, and then my dad giving me a hug after the game. That meant a lot. My dad is a Hall of Fame coach in the Bahamas, so, I know there's a lot of pride. Now that I'm a parent, I understand probably how he feels, because when I go to my daughter's soccer game, I'm an emotional wreck. So I could only imagine him watching me do my thing. As far as everybody else, anybody that reaches out to me, whether there's someone I know personally or on social media, there's a level of gratitude that I have just because I share so much with, the basketball community, my family, who I am. And so they've watched me go from being 0-16 to being here now. So anytime someone reaches out or tweets at me, it's pretty cool.
And I know you said last night you guys are preparing as if Brink is going to be available for them. Whether she plays or not, though, how much is the rebounding game? It's key to what you guys do so much, but how much will that, I guess, really determine this matchup between two teams who can rebound the ball really well?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's going to be something important. It's our identity. We want to rebound, run, and share the ball. Everybody that has talked to us knows that. That's not a secret, so I'm not giving anything away. It's our philosophy. And so, obviously, whether we're playing Gonzaga or now Stanford, we're going to want to rebound, run, and share the ball.
Hi, Yolett.
Hey.
It's Janie from Associated Press. Nice to see you. Were you able to, you talked up here last night about just being kind of emotionally and physically spent from the way that you run up and down the sidelines, and were you able to get any sleep? Did you go straight to film? What was sort of the night like?
I think I got about 4 hours in last night, and then this morning our athletic trainer hooked me up with some Normatec boots, so I'm feeling fresh now. I'm ready to go and rejuvenated. I don't have my voice yet, but I'm talking, so it's not gonna heal right now. So But I will continue to work on it for tomorrow.
What kind of boots? Compression? Are those the
Yeah.
the healing boots?
Yeah.
So I mean,
Our players use it. I just borrowed it for 20 minutes.
okay. So where do you go on your back? I've only
No,
seen it a few
it's
times.
like boots. You just put them on and you're sitting down. So as I was watching film this morning, I was being worked on.
And you feel 100% better. or
I don't
90%?
think anybody, I don't think anybody feels 100% in March. We're just kind of going on adrenaline, but I bet it'll die off once in the conclusion of this tour that we're on. Hopefully not tomorrow night.
Do you typically lose your voice in these times like March and conference tournament and big games like that?
Yeah, I think I feel like I did something to my lungs or something like that. When we had 3 games in 1 week and we played Kentucky at home, and then we went to the PMAC and they had like 9,000 fans, and then we came back and we played LSU, and then we came back and we had like 7,000 fans, and my voice was shot. And so anytime I scream since then, it does this. So I think I'm just gonna need like the off season to rest my voice. So I think anytime any type of shouting occurs, this is what happens. And so like I'm stressed because Stanford, like I just love the way the gym is set up, because it feels like everyone's right on top of you. So even if it's 4,000 people, it should be pretty loud. So I don't know how I'm going to do this tomorrow, but I'll figure it out.
In terms of impact and importance to you and to your team, now you're playing a storied, legendary team tomorrow on their home court, one of the great coaches of all time. What would it mean to you to win tomorrow?
I mean, when I took this program over, we were in bad shape. The bones were good, but we needed to build. And I've always thought that we would be in this position at some point. We're here now, and to go up against a legendary coach like Tara and to give our best, and hopefully for us to beat them, it would mean the world. And the reason why it would mean a lot is not really for me. It's for the people that's going to come behind me, because I believe that I'm the future of women's basketball. Being 40 years old, I'm pretty young, and I just think you can't be what you can't see. So when I was coming up, I was able to see Vivian Stringer, and then more recently Dawn Staley, but also Pat Summitt, Tara, and Gino. But obviously there is a connection I have with C-Viv and Dawn Staley. So I hope what I'm doing, and to me to be able to, us to be able to win and beat a blue blood, like you mentioned, is a great story. Aren't we in the Bay? That's why everyone loves Steph Curry, because when you see LeBron, you really can't be LeBron, but you could be Steph. You know what I mean? What is he, 6'2"? So whatever. So he's more like doable. But when you see Tara, she's on the mountaintop. Sometimes maybe you don't feel like you can reach that. But then you have Yo, who migrated from the Bahamas and had $1 and a dream, and someone gave her an opportunity and she made the most of it. I think that's a relatable story. So tomorrow I'm not only coaching for myself and the program, but the ones that hopefully will get an opportunity after me.
Would you want players on your team then to be part of that group in the future, to be the ones after you in terms of their development into post-playing career as a coach?
Absolutely. I mean, but there are other coaches that are right on my heels and look, I don't think I'm better than anybody. I'm just talking about like steps, and I think there are tons of really good coaches they got their teams in the tournament right now that are waiting for an opportunity to coach at the Power 5 level. And hopefully, we could continue to normalize giving coaches like myself, who started at the Atlantic Sun Conference and made this move, more opportunities. Like, I watched a guy from Fairleigh Dickinson. Like, how could you not root for him, There are tons of really good coaches out here, and they just need an opportunity. So, for the people that need some type of motivation, they can just stop and look at me. Doesn't matter the gender or the race, just the journey in itself. So, for sure.
Hi. Thanks for sharing that. That was nice. You spoke the other day about your team's, commitment to the community and all of those things. Where does that stem from for you? I mean, you spoke about your father, and where'd that example come from, or is that something that just was dear to your heart from, childhood?
No, my mom was an educator for 30 years, both of my parents. So my dad was my high school coach, and my mom initially was a typewriting teacher and then moved up to be a vice principal and then the principal for 20 years. And so all my life, I've known how to be a part of any type of philanthropic work. Because, my parents embody community service and servanthood. My dad next month is going to have a street named after him. He has a park named after him. Like, my mom is a Hall of Famer. So, I come from a legendary group. All I know is excellence. And when I talk about excellence, I'm talking about from a servanthood mindset. And so I just vividly remember watching my mom bring in pregnant teens that got kicked out, and my dad bringing in young boys that didn't have a place to stay but was on his team. And I guess that's what I learned, Without them really teaching me that, I was able to watch and learn. And so that's why I try to be an example for my daughters and my players, so that they could just want to do that when they get an opportunity. And so what we're building at Ole Miss is just a bunch of great young people that are going to impact whatever community they're a part of, because it's become a way of life for them. And I just don't ever want them to always take. See, athletes can always take because athletes get a lot. And athletes are not always taught to give. I know, because I was an athlete. And so one of the things we challenge and we focus on at Ole Miss with our program is that we will receive, but we will also give back. Thrive is trust, help others, rise to the occasion, identify when you need to make a change, vacate any type of negative energy, and earn everything that we get. So the help is the part of the community service, and it's something that I take pride in.
How many siblings do you have?
Well, for my mom and dad, I'm the only child.
Okay.
And but my dad was a Rolling Stone, so I have brothers and sisters, but I didn't get to grow up with them.
But your parents had people in the house.
All
Would
the
you
time.
Say that, okay.
All
so
the
you
time.
always had somebody staying there.
Always, whether it's a male's basketball player, or like I said, my mom was a principal, and so people were always in and out. So I have a lot of people back home in the Bahamas that are rooting for me and that are messaging me. They don't realize it's a time change, so I started getting hit up at 4 this morning. Just people that are incredibly proud.
And last one from me, if that's okay. Coach Minetti sat up here last night after her team's great run and said she didn't tell her players that Cameron Brink was out until just before tip-off, but she also didn't tell them that Cam's replacement was a 6'7" freshman. So, I mean, what do you make of the depth of that Stanford team and just they're big. They're bigger than your team, probably.
Yeah. Listen, Stanford's an incredible team, and luckily for us, we're blessed to be a part of the Southeastern Conference, where size is something that we are used to, and like I stated, with South Carolina, so it's not going to be something that's foreign to us. I bet it will present some challenges. We'll do our best to try to manage that, and we're just really excited about the opportunity.
We have time for one last question.
Yeah, just would you be the type that would want, your players might figure it out if they look across during warm-ups, but would you be the type that would tell them at some point, or just kind of let them figure it out if she's not on the floor, if Brink doesn't play?
We don't care who plays and who doesn't play. Like, seriously, they can bring 2 people we've never heard of. It's March. We're ready to ball. So that's not going to change our game plan. I think we need to give Stanford some credit, right? They're a really good team. So whether she's gone or she's there, we expect to fight. And we're going to fight. So either way, someone's going to get knocked out tomorrow.
Thank you, Coach, and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.